I'm Sophie McKenzie, author of the Medusa Project series. The second book in the series is called The Hostage. Now, each book is narrated by a different one of the four main characters, and The Hostage is told by Ketty. Now, her particular gift is predicting the future, and at the start of The Hostage, Ketty's very troubled by her particular gift. She feels she can't quite control it. She can't she doesn't know when she's going to have a vision or what she's going to see or whether she can change the outcome. So she feels quite apprehensive about being relied on to use the particular ability she has. And at the start of The Hostage, she's sent on a mission with Nico, who's there really to protect her, which is all based around whether or not she's going to have a vision. So to start with, she's feeling under pressure. Then when she's actually investigating this office where they're hoping it's going to trigger off a vision for her of some activity, this criminal activity the guy they're investigating has allegedly committed, she has a vision of her brother involved in this same crime, and she starts to believe that the man they're after is not the criminal that everybody else thinks is involved, but her own brother. And that sets up the rest of the story, really, as Ketty tries to find out more, find out if her brother's really involved, and obviously tries to work out what on earth she can do in that situation. Now, her brother is called Lex, which is short for Alexander, and one of the reasons he's called that is because where I sit at my desk, I look out over Alexandra Palace, and so the name just sort of occurred to me to call him Alexander. It came to me as I was gazing out my window, which I do an awful lot when I'm supposed to be writing. Anyway, it's nice that we're here now in Alexandra Palace. The Rescue is the third book in the series. It's coming out in July 2010, and it follows straight on from the day that takes place in The Thief. So, as I said, The Thief is about the journey to the training camp, and The Rescue is what happens once they get there. Now, The Rescue is Ed's book. He's telling that particular story, and they arrive at this training camp, and Ed is immediately suspicious because he sees this girl being very badly treated by one of the people who work at the camp, and he immediately starts to wonder what's up, and he and Nico, who he's with, sneak outside and manage to get her on her own and have a quick word with her, and she tells them that the guy running the camp is not all he seems and not to be trusted. But unfortunately, by the time they get back inside to tell the person who's brought them so that they don't have to stay there, she's gone and they're left at the camp, and this guy already is a bit suspicious that they may be onto him. So that's kind of the starting point for the story. It's all a bit sinister what's going on at this camp, and Ed is determined to find out, because after this moment where he's met this girl, later on he can't find her again. She's just disappeared, and he wants to know what's happened to her. And he has to come to terms through this story with his own reluctance to do mind reading, which is his particular gift. And a lot of the story as he gets involved in more and more action, more and more danger, none of which he's very comfortable with. It's all about him kind of having to use his mind reading and try and use it, as good as he can, try and use it as well as he can, because he has obviously something very important that he wants to achieve, which is finding out what on earth has happened to this poor girl. It feels great, actually. It's really nice to know that people think that my book might appeal to the children in schools who are going to be have access to, find out about all the range of World Book Day books. And it's also really nice to be involved with something where they team you with another author, because they're flip books, and Chris Higgins has written the book on the other side. So I think it's a great project, and I'm really, really happy to be part of it. Well, together with Chris Higgins, I'll be visiting a number of schools, not just on World Book Day itself, but throughout the whole week. So I'll basically be doing, one of the things I really enjoy doing best, which is going into schools and meeting the readers of the books, getting feedback, and just chatting about writing and reading and stories, basically. So I'm looking forward to it. Well, this is the size of the books in the series proper. So as you can see, compared to that, the Thief is much shorter. And of course, I've just got half of that. The other half is very good, by the way. So the answer is yes. I mean, it was a challenge because it's a whole story packed into probably about a third, maybe a quarter of the words I'd normally use to tell, a story the length of The Hostage. However, that in itself is actually a great challenge because it really forces you to be very focused on the story, and as a result, I think The Thief is all the stronger for it. I hope so, anyway. Blood Ransom is the sequel to Blood Ties. Don't have a cover yet for Blood Ransom. I've actually just finished writing it, so I do know what that story is now, and I'm really excited. I really enjoyed going back to writing about Rachel and Theo and what happens to them. It's in Blood Ransom, just like Blood Ties, the story's told alternately from Rachel and Theo's point of view, and the story basically, without giving too much away, brings them back together and brings back Elijah Lazio, the geneticist who created them as clones. And basically, through the story, Rachel and Theo discover that Elijah's been doing an experiment, doing some research which she calls the Aphrodite experiment, and Rachel and Theo end up getting sucked into this rather sinister goings on. Has particular relevance to Rachel, who is in some way crucial for Elijah's research, and really the story is about how they try to find out what's going on and try to deal with the ransom that Elijah ends up demanding of them. It's brilliant, winning regional awards, which Blood Ties and Girl Missing before it both done. Basically, when you write, you're really on your own a lot of the time. You're in isolation, you sit there, you think about your story, you write your story. So to know that other people have enjoyed it too, the readers of the books, which is what all those regional awards represent, is a really lovely thing, because it sort of validates what you're doing. And Blood Ties has now won quite a number of regional awards, as well as the Red House Children's Award last year. So it just makes me feel really encouraged to keep on writing.